What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. After spending about 15 hours, give or take an hour or two in either direction, on Zenless Zone Zero, I feel it is high time I give it a proper first impressions review, being as fair with my scrutiny as possible, highlighting all of the positive elements, highlighting some of the shortcomings of the game and how it can improve upon those. But overall, I just want to give a fair shake and provide as much substance, context, and tangible proof to the sentiments that I hold for the elements I'll be going over, which is going to be things like story. And then there's some subsidiaries of the story that I want to highlight, such as the comic book storytelling, the static stationary storytelling, the TV system, the dialogue quality. And then I'm going to go over character design, combat design, polishment of all those elements, user interface, gacha system, and so many more, world exploration and design of the world as well. But overall, that's all going to be under the 15 hours that I have spent. And then I'm going to wrap up the video with my overall thoughts, and we're going to call it a day. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, I want to start off with the user interface and the presentation, polish, and refinement of it. This is one of the best menus of character selection I think I've ever seen in the entirety of my gaming career. Just absolutely beautiful. You look at the background, you look at the character right here. PNG model looks incredibly crisp and refined. Why are we looking at a furry? Let's look at somebody attractive here. Speaking of which, they're completely characters I do not own, and I can still view them on the same screen. I don't have to go to 87 different menus to find and scavenge for the characters I don't own and what they look like. You can look at their base stats, their skills and equipment, even if you don't own them. That's an upgrade in Zenless Zone Zero. But this whole entire presentation is 10 out of 10. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of polish and refinement. The character models, beautiful character models. I dare say they've improved the character model refinement in Zenless Zone Zero as opposed to other games. My personal opinion. Now, if we go and look at their base stats, skills, and equipment, which by the way, there's clarity there. It's not confusing. You know exactly where it's at. Each time you go to a different panel, they do moves. And I get it. I know these are the little things. They don't really define a game, but man, these little things add up for me. And it goes a long way with first impressions, presentation, and expectations going forward. You can expect this level of polish, presentation, and refinement in perpetuity in this game. You know it's going to be delivered with the exact same level of quality every time. That goes a long way for me personally. But look at this base stats, right? We go over to skill, bro puts his fucking foot in the air and the gadget comes out the back. We go to equipment, he brings up the time watch. And if we go back to skill, bro literally spins around to go back to the kick. That's insane to me that they went to those lengths, bro. Spins around, you go back to equipment and skip to base stat, he spins around that way. It's just like, bro, let's get a girl here because I don't think y'all hearing me on this, bro. This shit is insane. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. Boom. Go back to the skill. Boom. She giving you the left and yo fat head ass did not just do that to your audience, bro. Boom. Look at that. To the right, to the left. Take it back now, y'all. Crisscross. I love that type of stuff, man. The other thing I want to point out real quick is maybe you noticed it, but every character is going to have a matching background to their color scheme. Case in point, look at that right there. I never call out colors because I'm never confident. I want to say that's olive, but then I told you I always have these fucking color heads. They're like, excuse me, that's not olive. That's whatever the hell the color is. But you got Sukaku matching because she's ice. You got her matching the ether element. It's just beautiful. By the way, look at the weapon presentation here, guys. You will not find a better game that's going to deliver you this level of quality with user interface. It's fucking insane. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the main menu. The main menu has a pano motion picture dynamic wallpaper that's shifting angles for you to appreciate the character of your choice. Most importantly, move this out the way. You see this switch icon over here. After you build up trust with characters, you can switch over to those characters. Safe to say I'm about to build up trust with Nicole first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Build up that trust with Nicole. I think that's the dating system. Once you reach a certain level of trust by going on dates, I imagine, then you're able to switch these over. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind is the kid looking characters. Not a big fan of that. I would hope that they put them in a very appropriate, non-sexualized, non-provocative tone of setting. That's to be determined, and probably never will be determined, because I'm never going to build up any of the kid characters, to be honest. That's the only real nitpick there. The main menus, there's always 87 fucking user interfaces to go through and navigate through with gacha games. But with time, you eventually get acclimated to them. It's not a big deal, but it is annoying in all gacha games. But getting acclimated to a user interface is a thing that you have to do in pretty much every goddamn game out there. So it's not worth actually evaluating. And last thing I'm gonna talk about is just this event side scrolling. Keep maintaining the integrity of the urban and retro theme. Beautiful. I love it. Now it is time to get into the story. I want to talk about the methodical procedure that they've taken with Zenless Zone Zero with regards to how we consume their story. It is a combination of cutscenes meshed with a comic book approach, which is, again, that shit is unique, especially considering how they always tell their story, meshed with their traditional method, which is the stationary and static background of I talk, you get stun locked, you can't move, and we just show a couple of angles of the characters. And then the TV system is the final and fourth method of storytelling in Zenless Zone Zero. What's impressive to me about this is their ability to say, okay, we're going to tell the story a bit differently in this game as opposed to our traditional means of telling it. This comic book approach was very impressive, very nostalgic, and the refinement, the detail, the care, the polish, the artwork. For me, I thought it was a 10 out of 10. This shit is great. I'm somebody who has read many manhwas, webtoons, and light novels. So, you know, I've seen Solo Leveling. I know how God tier that artwork looks. I've seen T-Bait, the beginning after the end. I've seen Tower of God. I've seen a lot of them. And let me tell you something, this shit is peak. In terms of the aesthetic, it is peak. You can see Ambi back there clear as day. The transitions paired with the English voice acting is very fluid and seamless. The pictures are not moving. They're motionless. You know what I mean? But you can still envision and see what is happening as if they are moving. That's what I call top production quality with these visuals. Watch this transition. Boom. That shit is clean, man. Anyways, I liked it. It enabled me to look forward to every time the comic book approach pops up, because they don't do it as the only means of telling the story. And that's why I said it works well in tandem with their usual traditional way. It basically like extends the longevity of your attention span when you're consuming dialogue. And that's something that I can truly appreciate. Not going to touch up on this too much. This is their traditional way of storytelling, as I always say. But what I will say is just the polish. That's all the production quality. If you look at these 3D models, they look god tier. And that's something that is just easy on the eyes. And then Nicole, fine ass, pops in looking super beautiful, gorgeous, right? I love this. Just that alone, even if the dialogue is dog shit, at least it's something good to look at. I don't need to go overly explain to you why this looks attractive. It's good. It's nice. Now, if this was the only way of consuming the content, though, I'm going to get put to sleep. That's how it is in Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. And then Genshin Impact, after its boom, people just tried to mimic it. Tower Fantasy tried to do the same thing. Wuthering Waves is doing the same thing. And I'm tired of that fucking boring ass way of telling a story. There's more ways to tell a story as opposed to I talk, you talk. And so, yeah, for that, I like it. Now let's go ahead and move on to the TV system. All right, we've made it to the TV system. This is my gripe about the game story. I'm not a big fan of it. In fact, the TV system single-handedly disconnected me from the story, and I just didn't care about the story, because every time I would go through this TV system, I would just forget about what the hell they were even talking about. I don't like the fact that, significant events are occurring in the TV system as you're continuing the story. Like I said, this big dude here is a big boss you end up fighting, and he's following you through the post-apocalyptic map, and he's like wreaking havoc trying to get to you. You can't visualize any of that. All you see is this right here. This is how it's happening. Big TV coming up to you, bro. And I just don't think that translates well for story purposes. I don't hate the system. I think the system's pretty enjoyable. I just don't think it belongs in the story. It belongs in a roguelike setting with roguelike variables, receiving buffs, picking up party members along the way, that mode that you go to. I forget the name of it, but it was like Zone Zero. I don't know what the hell it's called, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It translates much better in that mode. It's for that kind of mode. I don't like the idea of seeing significant events occur through a goddamn TV system. And I get it, guys. You're playing with a proxy. He's a hacker. He's supposed to be helping you virtually through the systems and the AI device, which is Fairy. I don't give a damn how you try to math that out and make it logic for me. It doesn't transfer well. I don't see that happening. You know what they can do? What every other story does. They just straight up give you an earpiece like every other show out there. You listen to what the proxy's saying. They bring up a static TV of the guy telling you what to do, but you maintain the visuals of what's actually occurring. Right now, I'm saving civilians and trying to get a train track on the right tracks to save a whole civilization from dying. Do I see that happening right now? No, I'm with this damn bang boo. What the fuck is this? I'm just going over here with this bang boo and moving on a bunch of TVs. That's not good storytelling for me. It's just not. I feel like, honestly, you just have a shit take if you think this is good storytelling. But I'm not going to go beyond my personal opinion. I'm going to respect the opinion that y'all have. And I'm just going to say this shit ain't for me. All right. I don't like this one bit. And when I went back to watch the story without this, it was way more palatable and way more enjoyable for me personally. So yeah, the TV system, not a big fan of the story, of it being present in the story. Take it out and then we're good to go. That said, let's move on to the next topic of discussion. Now I want to talk to you guys about the dialogue, and then that'll wrap up my story first impressions. The dialogue quality is very upbeat, energetic, and lighthearted. It's not going to give you like a Game of Thrones intensity or a Breaking Bad intensity or plot twist. Like if you're looking for that, it's just not happening, at least not this early on. They're still trying to character develop and set up the world design, as well as the relationships between the characters and the bonds they share. It's actually pretty enjoyable. I think I can compare it more to like your run-of-the-mill isekai. You know, a good little slice of life kind of vibe, which is good. It's positive. It's like it just puts you in a good mood as you're playing the game, especially if you're a streamer. It's really good to play as well, along with the chat, provided you're paying attention. But I only really found one part of the story that was quite compelling and interesting. And as I said in my previous video, was the Nikomata arc, where you had to save the civilization from getting completely eradicated by Vision, due to them not wanting to pay the cost of, you know, the fees associated with the civilization, I guess. But there's definitely some nice little concepts in here. I think ether aptitude is more akin to like radiation in real life. You got to have a resistance, which I think kind of like correlates to the amount of power that each character has. When you run around town in the apocalyptic zones, there's ether aptitude. Like I said, levels of radiation is the best way to like translate that. And I think that's a pretty cool concept, and they can go pretty far with that, especially in a post-apocalyptic setting. It's quite fitting. But yeah, the dialogue, I strongly recommend watching it all. If you're having a hard time keeping up with it, you're probably dealing with what I was dealing with. The TV's disconnecting you from being, you know, engaged with the dialogue and the combat on top of the TVs. And then you get back to the continuation of the story and you're like, wait, what the fuck even happened? If that is you, go back, just skip through all the dialogue and then go to the video archive and just sit through it without any distractions and disruptions. And I feel you'll be able to digest it much more. Overall, it's much more enjoyable now that I went back and listened to it than I initially thought. It's not too bad, and I look forward to see where they're gonna go with the story. Now I want to talk to you guys about the combat system combined with the build system, because they do work in tandem, and one will make the other more intricate, which is typically the build system complementing the combat system. A lot of people have been saying it's brain dead, and they don't provide any kind of context to how it's brain dead. Like some people will say the combat isn't intricate at all. They just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The combat is absolutely intricate. A 3-man swap system where you have ultimates to manage, as well as chain attacks, as well as passives to proc, abilities, special abilities, fucking dodging, parrying, attacking with basic attacks, holding down the charge attack. Like, bro, there's a number of intricate things about a Hoyoverse combat system. The problem isn't the combat system on the user's behalf. It's the lack of a dance partner, a proper dance partner. And that dance partner is like an Elden Ring. Elden Ring's combat system ain't fucking intricate. Dodge, roll, jump, attack. Jump, attack, dodge, attack. Ain't nothing intricate about that shit, bro. But when you have a proper dance partner, when you have a fucking boss coming at you trying to knock your head off, and its attack patterns are hard to compute, and it's darting around the map, and it's very responsive and reactive, all of a sudden that brain dead ass system becomes a lot more thought provoking. And that's the problem in Zenless Zone Zero. The problem isn't the thing you can do in combat. It's the lack of a proper dance partner. The mobs are absolutely brain dead. The mobs are training poles, essentially. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it would be an improvement to the game to make them more challenging. However, at this point in the game, I am enjoying it. I am still enjoying just using abilities and attacking characters. I am still enjoying learning about the effectiveness of anomaly mastery and anomaly proficiency, penetration ratio. I am still enjoying, oh, my Nicole can defensive shred with her fucking gravity bomb. My Sukaku has to get 3 stacks up, and then when she consumes them and does the vortex thing, she debuffs the enemy ice resistance wise. Like, I'm still figuring out these characters, enjoying how their hits feel and connect. I'm still very much in a phase where I'm new to the game. I'm not tripping on characters or enemies not giving me the feedback I want to have. I love the thrashing of them right now. Now, when I get to the end game, if it's still that same experience, I will light this game up. Nobody will give it more proper scrutiny than this guy right here. But right now, it's just not that time. I'm 15 hours, you're not that guy, Bao. You're not that guy. I just feel like saying that out loud. Me personally, I have been loving the combat. I've been loving the SFX of the moves. Actually, I'm not gonna say I've been loving them. I can appreciate them. They definitely feel a connection. The response feedback of you attacking the enemy, of you parrying a move with the recoil pushback, that shit feels incredible. The dodges and the slow, subtle slowdown of time, that feels good. Everything is absolutely polished and refined with regards to combat. The only nitpick I will do, and it's just more of a me thing, is the SFX. I'm very big on audio of moves and abilities. I like my characters to feel distinctive by the audio that they make when they're doing their moves. Like if a wind character is attacking, I want to hear the if a lightning character is attacking, I want to hear the power of fucking Thor and Odin, bro, clashing. I played Lost Ark, and then I watched Fire Force and Fate Stay Night. Those are the 3 best audios for fighting I think I've ever heard in the entirety of my gaming tenure and anime tenure. I don't think there's better audio out there. And that's the standard of audio I try to hold to game. So it's a bit of an unrealistic take, but to be honest, with the budget that they have, I think that's a standard that's proper. You should always strive for a better standard. Other than that, the build system is quite proper. You got your passive abilities. It's your standard Hoyo build system, which again, I think is a great, fantastic build system. I think it was great in Genshin Impact as well. You're trying to manage passives, the multi-functional and complex elemental system, as well as who's weak in terms of the enemies. They have that system in here as well. You're trying to figure out how to build your characters. I haven't even gotten to that point yet. I've only unlocked a weapon. I still haven't unlocked the build. Right? I still haven't unlocked the rest of my little passives. Well, it's just one passive and then it just scales. But there's still so much more in terms of progression that I just haven't even got there yet. And I've already come to appreciate what they're doing with the game. Hell, I'm still trying to learn, again, the effectiveness of inflicting an enemy with an anomaly, or energy regeneration versus energy generation. There's 2 different things in this game, right? And I know what they mean, but I'm talking about the effectiveness of actually getting stats inside of my build and how those stats are gonna make me become more powerful in combat or make my rotation seem more seamless and fluid. There's a lot to learn on that road to the end game, and that's why I'm not tripping on the brain dead, aspect of the enemies, if that's the best way to explain it. Next up is character design, world design, and exploration. Starting off with character design, some of the characters have fantastic designs, and then some of the characters have some bland designs. Case in point, this is one of my favorite characters in the game. He gives off that Sanjay or Hwang from Tekken. You know what I mean? Bro's just got the kicks for days. He kicking the dust off shoulders, bro. I love this guy. but his design is so damn bland. Like I don't know, I feel like it's missing some vibrancy or just a little bit more drip. It's not the attention to detail and swagger that Hoyoverse usually delivers, and that's a bit weird. But I'll be honest, I really kept taking into consideration that they are trying to capture a fucking fighting game audience, and I was like, you know what, that's a typical fight. That's about the level of detail that they give to a fighting game character. Like Akuma, bro, there's really nothing crazy about Akuma. You got fucking like, you got his hairstyle, his dark skin tone with a mug, swole as shit, and bro got a tunic on. Bro ain't even got no shoes on. He got them big, crusty ass toes, him, Ken, and Ryu. And it's like, they're so iconic, you know? So it's like, for a fighting game, I guess you don't really need to go too hard on design, but at the same time, this is a gacha game, and these people are pulling on these characters for their drip and their design. So I was hoping that they'd go a little bit more ham on some of the characters. Some of them look pretty good. Nicole looks fantastic, and she's a woman, most importantly, so I'm okay with the provocative reveal of, you know, the boobs, the cleavage, you know, stomach is not that big of a deal if girls show stomach, but the short shorts and the straps squeezing the hell out of her thigh, I'm completely okay with that. You know, I'm just I'm not okay with it on the kid characters. I don't mind kid characters being in games, right? Like Sukaku, that's a kid character that I'm completely fine with being in the game. Here's the thing where people are a bit hypocritical and they're like, oh, what's wrong with the kids? Kids weird, bro. Bro, kids are literally in all animes, okay? Gon and Killua are in fucking Hunter x Hunter and they're like 12 years old, bro, okay? Naruto, bro, was a teenager. Ash Ketchum, motherfucker, is 10 years old in perpetuity. Kids are in animes, kids are in fighting games, kids are fighting in fucking wars around the world. I'm okay with kids being in the game. I'm not okay with kids being sexualized and being put in these provocative poses and shit, okay? Like this shit right here, I am absolutely not okay with, especially when you hear about the what do you call it? What the fuck's it called when they nerf boobs and shit? I can't think of the term. Whatever, you know the term I'm talking about. Censor, is it? Yeah, when they censor the fucking like boobs on somebody like Nicole, a grown ass woman, nerfed her boobs, but you're gonna okay these high ass, you know, pants on this fucking kid that looks like they're 14 years old. I'm not okay with that, you know. Sukaku's design is quite proper. That's something I could totally see a kid wearing. I will say the skirt's a little high. I would like if the skirt was fucking down here. I don't even want to be near the realms of a sexualization of a fucking child or kid. You know, it's just not what's up. Same thing with her, Nikomata. Look at these high ass fucking shorts, man. Like, dude, pull that shit down. Just cover it up. Cover all that up, man. They're kids. I'm not okay with that. That said, I'm okay with kids being in the games. The designs do look really cool. I do like the designs. I love Ambi's design too. Ambi looks fucking sick with the headphones, the sword, this thing that looks like it's gonna be like an air propeller for her. Her design is fire. Big fan of it. Big Ben is, you know, just big ass bear, bro. I don't know why it works. It works. It just works, bro. You know, this girl, this is a design I can get behind. It's a kid and they're fully covered up. They're a little emo girl, and you will totally see there's several of these kind of designs in fighting games. You go in a number of fighting games, you're gonna see a character that looks just like this. So I'm okay with this design. It's not provocative, it's not sexualized. She looks like some little innocent, creepy, fucking weird girl, and I'm okay with that. And this character will beat the shit out of you in a number of fighting games, I'm telling you. But you know, Grace, fucking gorgeous. I love her. Woman, looks good. This is just like some, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the shark tail. Not me personally. It's just like, but at the same time, it's creative. Objectively, this looks good. I'm just not a fan of that shit. I don't know. Like, okay, well, I guess we're putting shark tails on fucking just anime characters now. All right, whatever. That's totally a me thing, though. I understand that. This girl, fantastic. Also looks like another type of fighting game character that'll beat the shit out of you with some annoying ass puppetry type of movement and mechanic. But she looks really good. The design isn't crazy too. It's not like out of this world. She's just a maid with a red, white, and black color hue. And she's got some two puppets next to her, and it works. It looks damn good. This guy looks like he belongs in Guilty Gear X. Straight up, just looks like he belongs in Guilty Gear X. So I like the character designs. They look great. Some of them are hit or misses though. I'm not like this girl here. I'm not a fan, bro. That shit looks corny and booty cheeks, bro. I'll just keep the stack. Billy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Billy either. I'll be honest. I like Billy's personality more than I like Billy in terms of combat and how he looks. He's alright, you know. That's my thoughts on characters. I think they can they got some breathing room, but at the same time, I know what they're going for in the game. Now, world design. The world design looks absolutely immaculate in the town, but in the maps, in the fighting maps where you go in the instances to beat up enemies, they all kind of just look the same. And maybe that's the debuff of a post-apocalyptic setting. You have to like pretty much deal with a bland, colorless, and just, you know, everything looks like Walking Dead. It just looks like zombies. And there's nothing distinctive that's gonna stay on my brain and remind me that, oh, that's that part of the map. I can't really compute the difference between the maps. And I think they could do a little more with variety of when you're going into those map instances beating up mobs. Yes, the places are different, but it all looks the damn same, you know, from my personal taste. This town, the detail is crazy. I love this town. This town has so many different attentions to detail, so many different things to do around it as well. You can go to this guy and get our little scratch off. I got 20 polychromes. Yeah, wake your ass up, Lucky Charms. I got 20 polychromes as a scratch ticket. That's crazy that you can win the currency for limited banners as a scratch ticket. That's pretty damn cool, man. I like that though. I like the vibe. You come over here to this guy, you can cook some noodles. You come over to this guy over the coffee shop, you get plus 60 stamina every single day. Insane. But what I will tell you is this town is small as shit. It feels more like a demo than a complete town. I feel like I'm playing the demo of a game as opposed to the actual entirety of a game. Now, the caveat here and the saving grace is that it's a live service game, which means they're always going to expand upon this and build upon this. But I'll be honest, for a launch, I was expecting a much bigger town with more things to do, right? There's not really a lot to do in this town, and there's not really a lot of places to go. And I'm not saying it needs to be open world. I get it. I know the difference between an open world and an instance-based game. I would just wish for there to be more activities. Case in point, I would like to go to Nicole's house and hang out, have some tea time. You know what I'm saying? Have a little tea time over that thing. Go to Grace's house. For real though, dead ass. Like putting the like, you know, the flirtatious vibes aside, I'm serious. I would like to go to their houses. That makes the city feel bigger. I like to skate around the fucking block. Let me skate around this bitch. You know what I mean? Jet Set Radio. You already take some inspiration from the game. Karaoke. Let me go to a karaoke spot. You know, let me go around the town, bro. You got this city and it looks quite expansive, but I can't even fucking go over here and appreciate any of it, you know? Now I get it. Some of that steps into the territories of open world, but in an instance-based game, it's important to have many different activities and many different instances you can go to make the instance-based game feel bigger than it actually is. And I don't feel like they capitalized on that. When I go to the map over here and I'm trying to hover to all the other different menus, brother, they're all in the same area, right? Like I'm looking at this 6th Street. This is the street I'm on. All right. I ain't talking about Austin 6th Street. I'm talking about goddamn Zenless Zone Zero 6th Street. This is 6th Street, right? So they're like, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to these other areas. No, they're all they're all in the area we're in. Random play video archive. That's just my room, right? This is literally just my room. This is the only area you go to like do your dailies, right? You got 2 bad bitches at the counter, and this is where you go and spend your stamina. This is pretty much the only area. Other than that, you come over here to, let's see. Okay, they have the metro station too. The metro station, again, though, you go there and it's just this 5 feet of space. Like this is the metro station. That's it, you know? There's nowhere else to go. And then I come over here to the Scott Outpost. Now this is a new area. But what are we doing over here, bro? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing over here? There's this place, right, where you go and do your little like hub. And that's about it, you know? Yeah. Can't really go nowhere else. Now, I will say there's 3 more places I haven't been, but we can see a trend here, right? You look at all this. I don't think these 3 more places are going to be that expansive. Yeah, I don't think that's a nitpick. I think it's a fair critique. This game could have been a bit more bigger with more activities to do, and I feel they kind of failed to capture that. And I think the post-apocalyptic setting is a bit of a debuff because everything just kind of looks samey. There's no real distinctive features to, you know, to make me memorize them. And yeah, that's my thoughts. There's not really much exploration, to be honest. So I wish they could have improved upon that. All right, we're just gonna keep this one short and sweet. The music is the best music in any gacha game. Only a moron would say the music isn't good. Your opinion is invalid. It does not need to be heard. Stay your goofy ass in the back if that's your opinion. This music is God tier. It is better than Persona music. Nah, I'm not gonna go that far. It is just as good as Persona music. It is just as good. It is the level of Persona music. Insane. It is the level of Marvel versus Capcom 2 in 1 music. It's that good. It's that jazz. It's that every single tune is a proper representation of the mood or the setting that they are trying to set up. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Nothing else needs to be said. The music will actually just defend itself if you play the game. It's got to. This game, if you don't like the game, it's still worth logging in just for the music. Now, I want to end the video off with my overall experience with Zenless Zone Zero. This might surprise you. I've been loving it. And honestly, this is not a surprise to my stream. My stream on the debut launch, they heard me the entire stream say, I don't know what everybody's tripping about. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying it. But I ain't spent a single fucking penny. And I told y'all, you go into these gacha games not spending a single penny, your expectations are incredibly low. And more importantly, you're getting free entertainment. And for free entertainment, to say this game is garbage, you're just disingenuous or an idiot. I'm sorry. You're either disingenuous or an idiot. There's no way you can look at this game, this level of quality and the things I went over and say that it is garbage. You're a fucking moron. Yep. It's not a Gacha Smack video without me calling somebody a moron. I think y'all know this by that point. I've been loving it personally. If I had to give it a rating on a scale from 1 out of 10, I'm thinking a 7. I am. And my rating, bear in mind, is based off of its competitors and their launches. Wuthering Waves launched because of all those bugs and shit. It was like a 8.5, you know. Zenless Zone Zero, 7, maybe even a 7.5. That's my personal opinion. I've been enjoying this game. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is it the most, you know, beautiful thing since the dawn of gaming? No, but it's great and it's free. And damn it, boy, I love me some free fun. Very pog. Thanks for watching. These are my first impressions. I will be doing a full review of the game once we get to the end game. Peace, love, and happiness. I'll catch you on the flip side.